in race number 1 eventually, but he takes now the championship lead for himself. That was his first ever victory in the championship. So, Paul O'Neill back with me here in the Coventry Rocks, looking fresh as a daisy despite the temperatures out there, and great to hear from so many of the drivers. That's one benefit of the delay before the race, get the chance to most of the grid, and some interesting stuff down there.
Yeah, proper stuff. Yeah, sorry, that story of tripping back. If you don't know, I don't diabetic, and I was on a right old sugar low in that heat. But speaking to some mega people, mate, really interesting stuff from those guys down there. And again, sorry if Ryan Benson's dad said a swear word and caught it, so I do apologise for that. He didn't know we were live, so we should later on. Cracking grid this. I'm really looking forward to see what the Poleman Harvey can do. Good kid, him. Great kid, and I know his dad really well, and they really worked hard on getting into the front and just making sure that he doesn't do anything silly. And I'll be honest, I've not seen anything stupid from this kid at all. He's been absolutely brilliant. I'd love to see him get at least a podium, but he's got the speed to do it.
I mean, all of those at the front, actually, I'd be quite happy to see take a victory. You've got Harvey on pole, Max Edmondson alongside and doing some good work. Those two have been tied together all season. Then you've got Will Redford, the star of the show really at Browns. He was our co-on sport driver of the day at Browns Hatch. And Matt Love, who from a championship perspective, starting fourth in Cardiff 72, really does need a good result from this one. But we're about to find out what's going to happen because we have our second Milltek Sport Civic Cup race today ready to go. 15 minutes on the clock then, the red light.
And Morgan needs to make sure he doesn't turn across the front of him. So see what's going to happen. Harvey's down the inside. Sorry, Harding is down the inside, isn't he, for that place?
Yeah, Jack Harding ahead of Bailey then, so that's interesting because Bailey started behind him. I had briefly got ahead of Jack, although that now regressed as they come down into his one-family camp right behind. That's Gary Preble in the Pro Alloys car, mixing it now. He's got ahead of George Al Williams at the start. Druids, though, is Caton who leads, Edmondson second, Love in third position, Rob Butler in fourth, Redford down to fifth place there. Not a great start this time for Will Redford, but those top five, I think, have the possibility of being very easily matched over a 15-minute race.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, this is really hot enough. I think Harvey's had a bit of a nightmare for Druid. Really slow. The battle for P2 is watching up, and look at that, already flashing a brake light. People have got pad knock-off, like we were saying earlier, from that Druid corner and the curves going in there. But this is looking super close. Loving it. This is going to be an awesome race. Brake lights still flashing. People are struggling with these brakes.
Yeah, they certainly are, aren't they? Arnie Caton's front splitter, I notice, is wobbling as well. That won't be helping his front aerodynamics as he goes into the corners, and he's sideways off Cascade. Good car control, but that will now cost him momentum all the way down the lakeside straight towards the hairpin, where Max Edmondson goes for it on the inside line for the race lead. Max Edmondson has the overlap. He has the inside line, and Max Edmondson will lead the Monty Island hairpin on lap number 2. That was a committed move, and he might bring Matt Love with him.
Committed move, great move. Matt Love down the inside now of Harvey, and that's such a shame, but I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming from Edmondson, and that was brilliant. Side by side, only a little bit of contact. He's going to lose another place here to Butler. Butler's going to want a P3 out of this as well. Will he get run on the grass? No, opens it up. But look at that now away. It's Edmondson in the lead, and Caton is just about going to hold on to P3, is he?
Oh, let's see. Rob Butler's still lingering there on his right rear corner, but no, does have to slot in behind. They're all getting very congested though as they come through Druids for the second time. You're right, Max Edmondson's gone on inside race of Druids. Harvey Caton, how did he save it? Butler's on the grass. That was a monster moment for Harvey Caton, who again displays some top quality car control. He'll be third place to a race, but that's going to be slow as well.
Oh, just to see. Wow, fantastic car control. I thought that was in minutes. That was the end of the barrier as they come out of Druids. But look now, look at this congested field. 3, 4, 5 abreast as it now goes down towards Oulton and turn 1. But Edmondson has looked in his mirrors and gone, see you later guys, the circuit's so dusty and hot now. This is going to be a war of attrition cars everywhere. And I think that is somebody you were talking about before, wasn't it? Was it Preble, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a proper big off, that was.
No, Morgan Bailey on the inside of Ryan Bensley there, trying to bring Alistair Camp with him. This is the risk in the reverse grid race for Camp, because he's having to come from 10th on the grid, and you've got to try and survive all these shenanigans going on around you. There's a car on, there's a yellow flag at the hairpin. Who is that? What is that? It's Rob Butler. Rob Butler off the road. Will Redford is slowing as well. I don't know if that's just as he tried to avoid that, but Rob Butler's been off going into the hairpin on the right-hand side, slides across the road, and Butler might be out of the race.
Wow, what went on there? That's a straight line braking zone, so Yeah, something's definitely gone on. Look at that indicator on there, isn't it? That's Redford, isn't it? Redford's out the way. There's definitely been something gone on. Has he got a right front puncher or something? Oh no, it's a left front puncher. Left front puncher from contact. I think he's drooped maybe in the back corner of that car, and he's just waiting to try and get the back on track. Oh, nightmare for Will, that.
Yeah, Redford was ahead of Butler by a couple of places.
Drove at the back of him, left rear puncher.
Yeah, you're right, established the back of Butler's car as well. So that will now really have changed the order. We'll see what it's like at the end of the lap. Max Edmondson is still being called by that group.
Wow, they are pinned to the board. Big slide. Oh, only just catches it. Edmondson, that is game over. Luff is through. That's a change to the lead. And I tell you what has gone on there? Everyone having big slides on the exit and the mid of Cascades. But yeah, he can get back in this. He's not done and dusted yet. But Luff, great exit, done. That's P1 for him.
Almost every driver I spoke to after race 1, Paul, said that in the limited laps they did, they were suffering from chronic understeer, and I think a few of them have wound that brake bias a bit too far back, maybe changed the rear suspension a bit too much, and that's leading to lots of turning oversteer.
There is, and as you said that, Luff's rear left brakes were blocking up, so I reckon you're right. They've gone quite far, maybe too far to the rear. You can change the rake and you can do all sorts to the car, so something they're doing is making the rear of the car nervous. To do that from mid to exit and have a big slide is usually because you've done something pretty drastic with the rear setup. Lots going on in production class there as well. There was something happening at Nickerbrook.
That was Dave Marshall and Louis Hounsell, I think, fighting for the lead. It might have been Bernard Jenkins getting involved as well. So the top three in production absolutely together. The cup leaders are the bottom four of them.
There in the number 29. Oh, Morgan Bailey running wide out of Cascades. It's an interesting camera angle. I don't usually see it too much, and it just shows how much you're fighting and hanging on at the exit of Cascades into the Island Hairpin.
Through the Island Hairpin they go then. Down factory has Jack Harding right behind him, then Bailey and Camp, as you said. So that's a really quick little group of drivers then. George-Ann Williams, who's up ahead of Ryan Bensley now. Rounding out the top 10, by the way, is the number 140 car on Cripps, Matthew Cripps, and Ross Darlington also, Paul, you've spotted, he's made some good progress in the back.
Yeah, he was at the back, that green and white car, the 20 there, Rossi Darlington, absolutely flying. I wondered, he did qualify at the back, I'm sure of it, he must have had some problems, and then race 1 obviously didn't get too far up, so the number 20 is looking pretty good. He's disposing of some good people, he's making his way forward.
Took the restart in 18, or this race I should say, in 18th place, so yeah, didn't have much time to gain. He didn't do many laps in qualifying, had an off-track excursion on Civic and Cascades, and that was then in progress, I
that wasn't it. George is definitely awake now, isn't he, after being asleep on that grid walk? But as they go past us now, side by side into the braking zone, is it going to beat Bentley? Just 1 point Bentley can do. Wins the championship. Right up there, scoring 2 points. And again, flashing the brake light as they drive out full throttle down the straight, trying to get those brakes to work. The next corner coming up. Look at that. That's a big moment on the exit. Didn't look too big for Edmondson, but it was a big slide. And Harvey, you need to get back underneath him now, boy. You can't get all the way around the outside. You're going to leave the door open there, and you're going to lose a place if you're not careful. But he gets the steering straightened up, and yeah, I think he's going to try and shock his way back past Edmondson for that place.
Edmondson clearly struggling, didn't get on the hairpin very well either, and Kate now tries from the outside into the Hislop chicane. Now you can go round the outside there, get the inside for the left, you get squeezed onto the grass, there's a bit of touching through the corner, and somehow they get away with that. That was very touchy-feely stuff, and Edmondson hangs on. Caden's a bit all and odds now, isn't he? Runs out wide through Nick and Brook, and he's got Thackeray and Harding and Bailey and Camp all over him.
He's got a big decision now as Harvey. He's got to think to himself, do I stay P3 or do I battle and then I might drop back? So he's got an easy P3 here, not an easy one, but he's got a stream of people behind him that can cause him grief. But if he just looks after his own, he should be okay. The good thing is that Edmondson has actually got up front now, so he's cleared him, and now he can get on back of him. He's not expecting earlier on in the race, they might try and do the same too. So let's see what's happening behind.
Jack Harding again, he loves that move, that late look to the inside of Old Wall, just squeeze Thackeray on wide, and maybe it's Campbell to get the run now, down the avenue. How this is going to play out the cascade, it might be 3 wide almost as they go through Denton. Harding through, Thackeray on the inside, contact Bailey, Bailey sideways, Thackeray on the grass, it's all going on.
Wow, flashing the lights of Bailey, he's really not liking that, but side by side, Camp makes that place, the champ is through, and Dan Thackeray's just going to have to back it off now, but what a great battle. Oh, Harding, little bit of a push from Bailey. He says, thanks very much, mate. One in the door. They're going to go. That's not going to end well. Down at Knickerbrook. The chicane coming up. Look, can he get back across the front in this car? Thackeray on the grass. Camp squeezes him, comes back. Look, side by side. He's going to get across the front of him. Camp again gets the job done. Wow, what a race this is.
This is proper stuff. This is exactly what we said. It's hard, but just about the right side of fair. Bit of pushing and shoving, bit of squeezing, with nothing too untoward. And all of this, of course, has allowed Harvey Kane to get away from them again and latch back onto the tail of Max Edmondson. So for second place, they're absolutely together through Druid's Corner. A good exit from here could allow Harvey to have a go into Lodge Corner. Of course, Jack Harding now trying to go with them, and he has had a good exit from Druid. He's on the inside, and he's through already. Harvey Kane is absolutely flying. His car is handling much better than Edmondson. And he's in second place.
He is, but look at that. Harding was having a look as well. Who's going to be in the position? Oh, Caden's done it terrible out of Lodge Corner, and he's opened the door again. Edmondson is going to have a look. Be careful here, Harvey. You don't want to run across the front. Job done. He's got to get out of Lodge better, because that's the only place he's pretty stressful to watch, to be honest. But mid to exit again, he just has a bit of a traction issue, and he really backs the pack up. He's got to get this done and try and gap him. Oh, Edmondson's going to get the place back. That's a great move, and that's going to big sideways across the grass, and a nightmare for Harvey. Can he get back on safely yet? Nightmare for Harvey. Drops down the order.
That will have filled the grill with grass as well. That was, you can see it digging into the grass out the X of Cascades. So Kane drops to the back of the group. Then Edmondson back to second, Harding third, Bailey and Camp side by side now for fourth, and Harvey Kane slots in just behind them, but he's got actually Dan Thackeray trying to get up the inside of him now over Hilltop. It's all gone wrong for Harvey Kane, but Max Edmondson somehow hanging on to second, lost it for a couple of corners, but a robust move at Cascades brings it back in front, and Harvey Kane really struggling. The front of that car does not look happy.
No, it doesn't. That spoiler now on the front of Kane's car is it doesn't look too much full of grass, but it definitely took a beating. But it doesn't look like it's annoyed the car handling too much. He's still with that pack. Edmondson in the 33 having a nightmare. Harding will pass at some stage. Car off. Rossi Darlington, nightmare. Rossi off, pulled off, looks like a mechanical. Who's this? That's Harding down in inside to second place. Great stuff, great move. Bailey wants a bit of this. Edmondson's going to be hung up to dry. Hit the shoulder. Where's he going to win? Edmondson into the side again. Bailey, look, he's going to go to the place. Camp down the inside of his top second to 98.
Oh, no, the Camp just gradually making his way through the corner here. This is the drive of the champion from Allen into the top 5 now. And there's another car stop. That might be Alfie Trellford, I think. Yeah, 66. Alfie Trellford will stop. Dave Marshall, by the way, is running in third in the production class, because Louis Hounsell and Alfie Jenkins through Oulton Corner absolutely together. It's Hounsell ahead of Jenkins, who won't him, and for those two contending the championship lead with Dave Marshall together going on to the penultimate lap of the race. Thackeray up the inside of Caden. Well, Caden's race is just unravelling here, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, it is. You know what, though? I know what his dad will say to him. If he gets to the end of this race, he's learned his lessons, and he could have easily had a podium, but he's still in the fight, and he's still having a fight, isn't he? And he doesn't mind putting his nose where others wouldn't. To be fair to the boy, Harvey, you know, I don't think he's done much wrong. It's just been not great exits and maybe a bit of tyre management experience is needed, but another place lost. But listen, the car, fortunately at the minute, isn't in a ball and it's still in the race, so fair play, all the experience. The lad's 16, this is a mega race for the lad.
Yeah, he's lost another place there. 12 Williams over Clay Hill and Ryan Bentley will probably have a pop at it now down into the line. Meanwhile, and it's cancelled the inside of back then, but it's down to the fourth position now. And Oulton took the advantage of that. Stop, final lap, second back up, 5.1 seconds advantage over Jack Hardy, second, third, Allen comes fourth, and Max Evans trying now to hang on to his fifth position. Out of Old Ball corner they go, down the avenue for the last time, before he'll back it down to the podium. Second place now, just like a little bit short. He's over 5 seconds off the road. The position that could change here, I think, is fifth place, and it will change because Max Evans was wide at the island hairpin, and Dan Zachary needed no second invitation. Goes through on the inside line. Now George Allen Williams followed through as well. He's got his nose on the right hand side as they go over Hilltop. That's the inside line for the Hislop chicane, and I reckon George Allen Williams is going to go for this. He's level with Max Evans. He's late on the brakes. Max will try and took it out around the outside. They backdoors Edmondson over the grass. Rejoins right in front of George Allen Williams. There'll be an argument there as to whether he gained an advantage by going off the track. Both drivers will have a very different opinion on that, I'm sure. The battle will continue with Edmondson still in front. The leader goes through Druids. Harding second, third Bailey, fourth Camp, fifth is Zachary, who appears in sixth. It is still Edmondson who is in sixth place ahead of Allen Williams, Bensley and Harvey Kane. Those four absolutely together through Druids. But for the final time of asking, Max will be heading to the final turn, and another race victory still set forward. He's going his way for House. Max always plays the second place goes to Jack Harding, third to Bailey, fourth will be out now, fifth to Zachary, and then the scramble for the line for sixth place. That is Edmondson ahead of Allen Williams still, Bentley and Kate behind. But Matthew Cripps will round out the top 10 finishes. Good effort that from Matthew. Meanwhile, the production battle, that's heading into the last corner as well now, and the council is somehow the outside behind the 28 car, the black gets this one corner, a little bit wide, but Jake isn't quite going to have the momentum to challenge him to the line, and it will be Louis Housel who wins the category, second place for Alfie Gagan, and third will be Dave Marshall, who will be in some way adrift in that race after clearly a few issues. Just ahead actually of the F2 of Jeff Oulton as well. At the moment though, the celebrations belong to Area Motorsport because Matt Luck is going to celebrate another race victory. Now, he lost a handful of points to Alistair Camp in race 1, but we reckon that that was probably going to be half points awarded for race 1. We haven't actually had that officially confirmed, but if that is the case, and it was half points, then actually Matt Luck's going to take a bigger chunk of points out of Alistair Camp in race 2, which ran to its full duration, than Camp did out of him in race 1. So we'll be surprised to see Matt Luck as the championship leader exiting Oulton Park. But again, we will wait for official the ex-junior racer Matt Luck, who then went on to race in Mazda MX-5, actually quite similar to Jack Hardy, who raced in MX-5 as well. I think Matt was in the Mark 1 championship, the old spec Mazda MX-5, Jack Hardy was a regular racer with the Civic for the Mark 3, but they both proved themselves to be good in rear-wheel drive cars, and have now both switched themselves nicely to the Civic Cup. Rob Butler, well, what can you say about Rob Butler? He is looking on at his car as he is leaning against the tyre wall at the island, hairpin damage to his car and contact early on, and just some drivers just can't seem to buy good luck, and this last year or so Rob Butler has absolutely one of the toughest story of him look around the start of the cave start. He just always seems to be on the receiving end of contact, and it looks like that was the same again. A couple of souvenirs for the marshals though as a result of that, some bits of Honda Civic being dragged out of the way at the island hairpin, so cars being moved from precarious positions